Hello everybody, welcome to Sim Racers Asia Season 6. I believe this is round 4 today at Circuit Codegua 0.6 Largo A, and joining me today is Amir Hazik.
Hey, welcome everyone.
So today, right now there's about 13 minutes left in the practice session. Ataya Kenzie is the fastest of them all right now with a 1 minute 27.370. Just under a tenth faster than last season's champion Chua Sing Han. Uh, as we see, there's a little bit of a car park going on there. Probably just some drivers messing around a little bit. Emo, who do you think is going to be coming out on top for race 1 and race 2 today?
Well, too close call to be honest, because watching from the practice sessions live timing, I can see that Kenzie and Chua Shing Han they seem to be guys to beat right now.
Yeah,
Outside,
there's only
yeah,
about like 400ths of a second between them.
yep. To me, outsider would be championship contender, of course, Xavier. We will probably be seeing if he can get faster with every minute passes by right now. And
Mm-hmm.
for me, I will also say that Charles Tezera, he could be a dark horse in this race too, because he's right now in 10th. So uh, in this practice at least, he might get faster as the race weekend goes on. He might be at the front of the coming race too. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
Yep, it's very true. Right now, the timing screens, it looks like there's about under a tenth of a gap between the top two leaders, and then 6 tenths behind them. Right now, is let me check the live timing for a bit. Is Muhammad Andri Abireski. So he did a 1 minute 28.0. So as it stands, there's only two guys with a 1 minute 27. Ataya Kenzie and Chua Sing Han. Of course, Ataya Kenzie leading the championship right now by just over half a point in front of Javier Lai. It's really, really impressive. Very, very close fighting here. The cars that are used for this season are the RSS Formula 3. I believe these are modeled after the FIA Formula 3 series, if I'm not mistaken, right? Amo, do you know
Yep.
any more technical details about this car?
Of course, yeah. This was actually a direct replacement for the GP3 series car for 2019. First season was last year, and to be honest, they call it a merge between the FIA Formula 3 European Championship and the GP3 series. But in
Mm,
actuality, in DNA, this is truly still a GP3 car because it has
yep.
the 3-liter V6 engine that you can hear right now. You can hear how
Mm,
good it is. But underneath the DNA, it's not much of an F3 car, but in this current sense, because FIA is trying to streamline the ladder, this is a Formula 3 car, so we'll have to live
mhm.
with it.
Yep. And Javier as well, being just half a point behind Ataya Kenzie. Javier has a little bit more experience in this car than Ataya, because Ataya, if I'm not mistaken, has only started driving this car when this season began. But Javier, on the other hand, last season he actually made his European debut with Scuderia Valkyrie, replacing David Lutz for a few races. He took part in ARL Formula 3 Season 2 Championship, World Championship, I should include, alongside me, myself, in the Scuderia Valkyrie team. Javier raced in two races, which were the Barcelona Grand Prix as well as the Slovakia Ring Grand Prix. He did very well in both races, so he does have a lot of experience in these cars, and that surely has translated into his performance on track. He's really, really close to Taya Kenzie. And it's also worth mentioning that Javier, I think if I'm not mistaken, he's had some pretty good results in this season alone. If you check his stats, at the moment he in round one and round two he claimed a double pole position, as well as the race in Spa he got a grand slam. He won all of the race. He won both races. Set fastest lap, started from pole. It was the best weekend you could ask for around Spa. And right now you can see it's really close for the title fight. Do you think he's gonna be able to qualify right up there at the front with Ataya?
Well, it depends because we saw him that he came in quite as right now he's on a 29.5. He's more than 2 seconds off behind Ataya as we see. Benori, how he spins around in the chicane here.
It's off the
A
track
tricky
now.
track. Yeah, this is a very tricky track as we saw earlier, and some drivers commenting that the bumpiness of the circuit is really disturbing the car. But yeah, Xavier might have a chance in trying to get a faster time here if he gets more track time. But as it stands, he will have a lot of work cut up for him.
Yeah. Oh, someone's crashed on the main street. That's very bizarre. as far as I'm concerned, if it's a straight, you have to keep your wheels straight. But apparently, it seems like a task. It seems a bit too much for the driver there.
Well, you can see uh, that there's plenty of drivers just pushing over the limit here. And
Even on the straights.
yeah, well, if you can't keep it straight, then might as well just spin it around then.
Yes, Sebastian Vettel would be proud.
Spinala. Spinala. Okay, but yeah, as you can see that these cars also a halo shot, which is pretty much in demand for around the world for single seaters. This keeps in tune with FIA's ethos of protecting drivers. So yeah,
Yeah,
the cars we see right now are pretty much the most robust Formula 3 cars ever made, if we can count it as a Formula 3.
yeah.
But the racing overall is good as well, since we have DRS to help with the overtaking.
Yeah, but I'm not too sure about DRS rules here. If I'm not mistaken, it is like the normal FIA rules where you can only use it after lap 2, and you can only use it within 1 second in certain zones. Within 1 second of the car hit in certain zones. But when we did the test race, apparently I saw some drivers just opening it whenever they want it. So I guess maybe that was just a one-off thing for the test race. We're gonna have to wait and see until the race itself.
Well, we have to see if everyone has the PLP or the S tracker to see if we could do the DRS zones. But luckily for these guys, they get to use it unlimited in an unlimited limited use.
Mm-hmm.
GP3 had a rule at one time where you can only use it 6 times per race. So
In the whole race.
yeah, and we had really processional races because of that. So luckily, none of that nonsense here. We can have drivers use the DRS as many times as they want, and hopefully we can get some really good racing here today.
Yeah. Speaking of the championship contender, Javier Lai just set personal best right now, currently sitting in 10th place, but he did only just join the server. I know that he has been testing around this track for quite a lot of time, so pretty sure he'll get on the pace pretty soon. And I'm sure he will, because it doesn't make sense for you to be just half a point behind the championship leader, but be considerably off the pace.
Well, this is an alien track to everyone, so it might be harder here.
One thing about this track is this.
It became a mountain. Sorry.
It seems like this track has like a lot of. It's just a track basically on a field of grass here. If you put a tire beyond the white lines, you're gonna find yourself staring off into the grass, and it doesn't look like you're gonna be able to stop. On some tracks, you have gravel traps to slow you down, or worst comes to worst, you'll just rub a wall. But over here, running wide could actually put you on the other side of the track. You could spin off at turn 3 and come back into. You could spin off at sector 3 and then come back at sector 1.
Yeah, it could be quite a concern if we have a massive pack, and if there's that one driver who's spun off and into the road, we might have plenty of drivers trying to avoid that guy, and that would be a nasty situation. Well, it's pretty much like Willow Springs, it's instead Willow Springs is all gravel, so the track here is pretty much similar, except it's grass versus gravel, but when you go off forever.
Yeah, especially on the Soda Corsa, we all know that once you go off track, there's once you go on the grass, there's basically no hope of slowing down. You can step on the brakes, so you can downshift as quickly as you can. Cars just not slowing down. You gotta wait for the physics to kick in.
Yep, you just hope and pray until then.
So right now we're right on board with Henrico. It seems like he's just come out of the pits to start his lap now. Right behind him is Noah Sedek. Noah Sedek, obviously a very, very experienced man in sim racing. If I'm not mistaken, he has about like close to 20 years or maybe even more of experience in sim racing. Very, very knowledgeable guy, as we see in the background. Oh, everybody's going.
Plenty of drivers going off there. And if you see Noah Sedek, 20 years experience, that's pretty much older than you. How long you've been alive. That's amazing.
He has more experience in sim racing than I have experience being alive.
That is why that's all we need to tell you there.
Me, though, as you can see on the track right now, the pit exit kind of comes on straight onto the racing line. It's kind of dangerous, and it doesn't come on. The cars sort of don't exit at the same speed as the cars that are flying down the main straight, so that could be a real concern. Yeah.
And we do have pit stops in this championship. I saw before in some of the races, so that might be an actual concern if we have a gaggle of cars coming together, plowing into the first corner, and we have someone coming out of the pits.
Yeah.
That might be an interesting situation to see.
Yep. Because one thing about this track, if I'm not mistaken, and by the looks of it, it doesn't look like it is an FIA Grade One track. And in FIA Grade One tracks, the track requires the cars that are leaving the pits to be somewhat similar pace to the cars that are already on track, so that when they come out, they don't sort of become like basically a moving wall for those cars that are already on track. But it doesn't. It looks like on this track, the cars sort of exit at about 80, 90 kilometers per hour, while the cars that are flying down the main street are already going well above 200. So it seems pretty dangerous.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially the fact that we have modern tracks like, for example, Buriram in Thailand, where you have the pig exit. You can get enough speed going around the outside and rejoin the circuit. That's the epitome of, if you can put it. Well, this circuit may not be. I think it's about great too, because it does host its own regional championship, which is the TC 2000, the Argentine TC 2000 championship. It might have a circuit appropriate for that series, but for these kind of cars, it might be a bit of a 50-50.
Yep, the cars that are driving down the main straight definitely have to be wary about the ones that are exiting the pits, because there's a wall that kind of stops them from seeing the cars exiting the pits in the first place. So during a race, these drivers are gonna have to make sure that they have to expect the car coming out of the pits and not cross over that white line, so that they can avoid an accident. Because an accident at that kind of speed would basically mean that your race is over.
Yep, definitely.
Interesting fact about Ataya Kenzie as well. Last season, he drove for Gamasala Racing. This season, he has transferred to Rotary E Motorsports team, if I'm not mistaken. That's what it's called. Ataya Kenzie is a really, really promising driver. 13 years of age, if I'm not mistaken. Really, really fast. He's one of the top sim races in Singapore, obviously being coached by the one and only Andika Rama Maulana. Andika's talent is amazing, and we all know that. So for someone like him to be coaching Ataya is, well, I mean, he's the best person you could learn from. That's what I would say. Ataya Kenzie couldn't have a better coach.
Oh yeah, definitely. Rama, who's also a GT Academy driver, who was a finalist. He went all the way to Silverstone to drive the 350Zs that were there.
Wow.
He unfortunately he missed out on the chance of being an actual Nissan factory driver, but nonetheless, he's proven himself worthy to be a driver coach to Ataya,
Yeah.
a young and a young upstart in this sim racing business, and of course real life racing, to do this thing.
Yep,
So
definitely.
yeah, definitely one to watch. And of course, Rama still doing his thing. He's expanding esports in sim racing in particular in that country, in Indonesia.
Yeah, especially in a country like Indonesia, where esports is a very, very well profitable organization. I would say a lot of tournaments around in that country are esports. If I'm not mistaken, there are actually more esports tournament than like real world sports tournament going on in Indonesia. That's how good esports is over there. So if you can have a good career in esports, you can have a pretty decent career. So someone like Ataya, who's only 13 years of age but already really successful in sim racing, yeah, it's a bright future ahead of him. Oh, someone's into the wall.
Oh, that's crazy.
That
No,
is a heavy impact.
oh, luckily he's not gonna feel that in the morning. But the car literally flipped over onto the other side of the track.
That's one
This
danger you can see on the exit of the final corner there. It is a very, very long swooping right-hander. So if your tires overheat too much, or if you're following in the dirty air of another car, or you just get your steering wrong, you're gonna understeer into that wall. And as Christian has demonstrated for you there, once you hit that wall, that kind of speed, it's basically game over. You're gonna experience a really, really hefty impact.
Well, Christian would not be wanting to see that one again, especially the fact that he's driving with a car that bears the Sauber name, and the Sauber car was on its halo, as we can say, last season in Spa. We're not gonna mention that incident, but we all know how terrifying that was.
Yeah. So Christian Ho right now stands fourth in the in the timing sheets right now, currently with a 1 minute 28.2. So at the moment, there are only 3 drivers that have managed to step into the 1 minute 27 mark. Of course, Ataya Kenzie leading the pack with a 1 minute 27.3. Right behind him, last season's champion Chua Sing Han, 1 minute 27.4, just under a tenth behind Ataya Kenzie. And then another half a second down on Chua Sing Han is Muhammad Andri Albireski. So Judging by the live timing right now, Ataya has only done 7 laps and he's able to do a 1 minute 27. So his pace is very, very evident, I would say.
Oh yeah, definitely. Maybe one of the definite guys to beat. We have to see if the second race if he could replicate that and overtake the entire field. As we got word
Yep.
from our broadcast director, there will be no pit stops for this particular season, and the RS activities of the second lap. So we got the FIA rules ready.
All right. So right now qualifying is about to start. There's about 1 minute or less of waiting time before the qualifying session actually starts. So as the practice timing as practice is over, we can see that the field is quite close. Despite other than the top three, everybody else is just within that 1 minute 28 mark or so. Xavier Lai right now, who's half a second behind, half a minute, a half a point behind Ataya Kenzie in the championship standings right now. He in practice he set a 1 minute 29.2, so that puts him in 1 minute 29.3. So that puts him in 11th. So if he wants to beat Ataya today, he's got to find some good pace in order to qualify ahead of Ataya, start the race in front of him, and maybe even beat him. So right now qualifying has begun. 10 minutes of qualifying. Drivers can come out now. It's either they go out first and get clear air, or they wait up a little bit and create some clear air for themselves. So it'll be really interesting to see who's gonna be able to set the fastest time here. So, Emil, who do you think it's gonna be? Do you think Ataya will be able to live up to his pace and take pole position, or do you think someone like last season's champion Chua Sing Han will be able to snatch pole position off of him?
Well, I don't want to sound like I'm sticking my neck out at the moment, but judging by the way that Ataya is going, I'm gonna put him in a shoe in pole position. To be honest, there's no way anyone else can be unless Chua can actually get back at him in this session at least to take pole position. But the race will be close, definitely.
Yep. As we saw during the practice session as well, Chua Sing Han was less than a tenth behind Ataya Kenzie. So there's almost nothing between these two drivers. It will be really interesting to see who will be on pole position. I'm quite surprised to see that the field is starting to spread out right now as the drivers try to find a little bit more clear air in order to start their hot laps. But as you can see right now, Henrico, he has I think that's a Rotary Esports or Gamasawa Racing team right behind him. So definitely you wouldn't want to be the car behind because you won't get that clear air to start your hot lap. But looks like it's dealt with right now. Henry, has gone off track.
I think he might have gone back to the pits too because that wouldn't be an idea. Oh, there he is. He just got back on track.
He's re-entering the track.
Right then.
So right now, according to the timing sheets, Charles Tezera is the first one to start his hot lap. Right behind him is Garden Coke. And then behind him is Ataya Kenzie. So Ataya Kenzie is the third person to currently start their laps. And then everybody's just basically starting a train right now. They're all starting the laps one after the other. So if they can stay close enough to get that slipstream, remember there is a really, really long back straight here. So if you can get the slipstream there, it'll be really, really good. But if you're too close to the car ahead, the dirty air is gonna affect you. You're gonna lose a lot of that grip, and you're gonna end up losing more time through the corners than you've actually gained on the straights.
Oh yeah, definitely. Of course, these cars might not be aerodynamically savvy as their older sisters, we can say, the F2 and the F1 cars, but they can still cause a bit of a dirty air. So Tezera controls it well there, coming into the final sector. The final sector.
This looks like a really nice car, though, really well designed.
Oh yeah, definitely. Nice hue of pink and magenta and cyan. It looks a bit like a Legion of Racers car, but it definitely isn't.
Yeah, but I mean, a good choice in color though, because judging by the design, if he had gone with red and blue instead, it would have looked like a Colgate car, to be honest. But it is a really, really nice design. I like the design of it. So right now, as the drivers are coming across the line, it is Chua Sing Han who currently holds provisional pole position with a 1 minute 28.4, 3/10 faster than the time that Ataya Kenzie said. Do you think Ataya was put off a little bit by starting his lap behind Charles Tazera, because it looks like he's 3 tenths down on provisional pole sitter.
Well, he's probably taking a time to acclimatize because this is a different session, mind you. So it might not have the same conditions as the practice. He just probably just needed some time to get acclimatized to this one.
6 minutes left in the session. Javier Lai right now is currently 17th on the timing sheets, but I don't think he has set a new lap time yet. Let me just check the live timing real quick. No, he is currently in the pits. He has not set a flying lap yet. Considering that he's only half a point behind Ataya Kenzie in the championship standings, he might want to get out there and basically start hammering in those laps, as the camera is on Javier right now. I think he is on a hot lap.
I was about to say he is actually he's out at try at the moment. Definitely on a hot lap. We'll have to wait and see if this is enough for him to get up into the top 10.
Yeah, definitely needs to be in the top 10 to be able to challenge Taya Kenzie for the championship there.
Through the far chicanes. Definitely, it's quite a satisfying track to drive, but at the same time, it just has that certain flow, doesn't it?
It looks pretty flat as well. There's not much elevation changes you can see on this circuit Codegua.
Across the line there for Ben Tang. Ben Tang, who goes 10th right now, and I was dropped 11. The times are coming in quickly at the moment.
Muhammad Andre Abireski is really close behind Ataya Kenzie now. Javier has managed to set a 1 minute 29.0. That puts him only 6 tenths behind provisional pole sitter Chua Sing Han. So he's well into the top 5 now. So that's the kind of Javier that we need right now to be able to fight for that championship position. So they've got 4 minutes left to set a time. It looks like the field is pretty competitive right now. So for Javier, that puts him on the second row of the grid and on the racing line, so he's going to be able to make the most of it. But of course, starting the race, going to have 3 cars in front of him, and in order to take the lead, he's got to deal with 2 first, and I don't think that's an easy task.
I was about to say that garden cock going through the grass, but that will make too much sense.
Tariq off. Looks like he had a tank slapper there.
Fish staying, and he's gone in the middle of nowhere, and back into the pits goes.
I gotta say, I like this camera angle right here. It looks like it's a helicopter shot, and it's not something you see on a lot of tracks.
Well, actually, not much of a helicopter shot. I think they call it a blimp. A blimp shot.
Yeah. It is almost directly above the cars. As we can see, Ataya Kenzie about to cross the line now. Where does this lap put him? Does he go faster? He does. Provisional pole position for Ataya Kenzie, 1 minute 28.0, 4 tenths ahead of Chua Sing Han. So, like you said, Ataya is really out there, really on the pace. He is the man to beat today.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I was just putting it as a speculative prediction, but he's definitely saving my bacon for that one.
And as you can see, he's almost a second ahead of his championship rival Javier Lai right now. So, Javier, I think he's on another hot lap.
Here comes Jihan across the line.
Sing Han takes provisional pole position by the smallest of margins. It's only about, I can see the gap right now. I think it's only about
200th of a second. That's how close it is. He's almost breaking to 27, but damn, that is close.
That is very close indeed. Insane.
And of course, we got one from our director.
Milliseconds separate the top 2 right now. Insane lap from Chua Sing Han.
Yeah. And we did get a word from our broadcast director saying that Xavier is just sandbagging. He might pull the lap out of nowhere. And there it is. He's up there in 4th, but he's nowhere near the same postcode though.
Yep, definitely. He's more than a second behind Chua Sing Han right now. Even when we saw Chua Sing Han and Kenzie doing their lap times in practice, they were really close to each other, and it's no different in qualifying. They're even closer actually in qualifying.
Wow. A whisker away, shall we say? 14 milliseconds, or it's almost close to 200ths of a second.
Yep, very small margins there, and that will make Ataya, I think, with the gap so small, there could have been just maybe 1 corner or 2 corners where he could have gotten on the power just a little bit earlier or braked a little bit later to get him into provisional pole position. But in terms of lap time, Chua Singhan had the edge here. Had the edge and is able to grab provisional pole position. Really, really impressive stuff from last season's champion.
Oh yeah, definitely. He definitely shows that you can't take away my crown that easily.
And as we can see, Xavier Lai right now, who's just been bumped down to 5th place, Xavier has come close to winning the title a few times. In Season 5, he was leading the championship but lost out due to not being able to compete in the final round, losing out points to, I don't remember who it was. I think it was Chua Xinghan as well. I don't quite remember, but in Season 5, he lost out the championship because he couldn't participate in the last few races. And then last season he lost out by the smallest of margins, despite taking the win in the last race. So Xavier has come close to winning the title, and now he's even closer to it, only being half a point behind the championship leader. But if he wants to win the championship, he's definitely gotta improve on his pace, or maybe right now, even though his qualifying pace isn't that good, maybe he'll be able to make the moves in the race to actually get those points. Because remember, there's no points in qualifying. You gotta get those positions in the race.
Oh yeah, definitely. And also the fact that for him to be the bridesmaid, never the bride, it will definitely be at the back of his mind at the moment. The only focus right now is to try to get closer to the front. And at the moment, as it stands, being almost a second off, in fact, just a whisker over a second off, it might be a bit discouraging for him. The best he can do is probably just try to get into the top 3. A podium will do wonders for his championship chances.
Yep, definitely. As the chapter flag is out right now, Muhammad Andri Abireski is about to cross the line. So the new time, will he be able to improve on it? Doesn't look like it. He does actually improve on it, but he doesn't make any positions due to it.
Ilhamrul Karim, who's actually also a Facebook friend of mine. He added me quite a few months ago.
Xavier right now is coming through the final corner, so this is his final shot to see if he can make up any positions. Maybe he can start out higher in the grid. What is his lap time going to be as he crosses the line? Doesn't look to me like he improved his time. So he stays in 5th place.
And the guy we were on board with, Ibrahim Hakim, he also did improve. So basically, this is the grid. This is now the final standings, unless anyone made improvement in the last few seconds.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So Chua Singhan, last season's champion, currently starts on pole position. Right behind him, 13-year-old wonder kid from Indonesia, Ataya Kenzi. Right behind him, in 3rd place is Muhammad Andri Abireski. And to complete off the second row is Fenor Rehan with a 1 minute 28.9. Just outside of the 1 minute 28 club is second place in the championship, Xavier Lai. So that's the top 5. How do you think the race will go, Amo? Do you think Ataya will be able to challenge Chua Singhan into turn 1? And if he does, do you think Xavier will be able to, or actually will be ready to pick up on any scraps left by the two of them?
Well, I don't want to jinx it, to be honest, because with 2 fast guys,
commentator's curse, huh?
I don't want to say it quick, call it too quickly, but this is definitely a situation where that can happen actually. So I'm not gonna say it will happen. I'm saying that with these 2 fast guys alongside each other, anything can happen.
As a commentator that might bear the commentator's curse, I'm just going to say, for the sake of everybody's entertainment, it will be interesting for the 2 leaders to make a little bit of contact on the first lap.
Looking at the timing screen, we've had a lot of drivers complaining that they didn't have really good laps. Xavier is one of them, and he said that was a horrible lap. Well, a second off might be a bit discouraging, but he still has the race to look forward to.
Yep, definitely. He's only starting 5th, so he's at the on the 3rd row. Sorry, but that starting 5th means that he is on the clean side of the grid, so maybe he'll be able to make the most of it. So right now we're just waiting for the lights to go out. 1, 2, 3, 4 red lights, 5 red lights, 6 red lights now ahead of the drivers. It's lights out and away we go. Who's gonna be able to get a better start right now? It looks like Ataya has the edge a little bit, but Muhammad Andri Abireski looks like he has a really good start. He's got the run on Ataya Kenzi now. The camera switches over to Garden Cook. There's a little bit of contact on the inside of turn 1 here, but everybody goes through rather cleanly. I would have expected a little bit more carnage down into turn 1 there, but by the looks of it, everybody has gone down there pretty cleanly. Xavier has actually managed to make up a position. He's amazingly in for a position.
Amazingly, we had a somewhat clean start.
Oh,
Well,
someone spun off. Someone
I
tried to
didn't
cut
say
you off.
clean
And
start
someone
there.
spun off.
Yeah, couldn't see who that was, but Choi Sing Han actually got a good getaway. Ataya couldn't have an answer to that coming to the first corner, and now he keeps the lead. The top two stay where they are, but Xavier, I think he just climbed up to third
Third
place.
place.
Something.
Yes, that is very
So
impressive. So despite Muhammad Adri Abireski getting a brilliant start, getting the run on Ataya Kenzie almost straight away, he has now dropped back down to fourth place, and that puts Xavier Lai in third place on the opening lap. So that's the kind of moves you would want to be making when you're fighting for a championship, right?
oh yeah, definitely. And I was about to say we did have a clean start, but the second corner is where the kerfuffle started, and unfortunately for some of the drivers, that has put paid to some point scoring positions in this race at least.
Yep. As the cameras are on Xavier right now, he is currently in third place, right behind Ataya Kenzie. Now, this is where it will be interesting to watch because Xavier, he's gonna wanna really focus and catch up to. Oh,
Oh,
Gardenco's been spun around there. He's spun around by Henry Cole. He's facing the wrong direction, so he's gonna have to spin his car around. Lost a lot of places because of that. Is not gonna be happy with what just happened.
yeah, I think
So
that was
this is the
Faiz.
move.
I think that was Faiz Ryan actually, because it's one of
Oh,
the
really?
cars that looks similar to Zera's car. So it might have been Faiz Ryan that turned run, or it was Zera. So it was Charles that spun run. So let's wait for the
It
stewards
looks
to
like
find out about that.
Tariq has gone into the pits here, so he might have damage. If I'm not mistaken, you don't need to pit unless you have quite heavy damage. So I don't think he feels like his car is that driver. Oh, he has a drive-through penalty. Okay, that explains. Oh, there's been a massive accident here. Uh, Shaq is involved. Aditya Pratama from from Rotary Esports is also involved. So
Bit of an
that's
individual.
oh,
Oh, he spins
he's hit the
again.
car in front of him as well. He spun again.
Well, that's
Definitely
not a good
not a
recovery.
good start to the race for Aditya here. He's down into 17th place now. It's almost as if the race is over now. And Ilhamul Karim, if I pronounce that correctly, despite being involved in the accident right now, he's in 11th. So there might be a move by Mark there down the inside. I think he just made the move stick. It
Yep.
is they made
Oh,
contact again.
oh,
Oh,
the thing
and
that he
Shaq.
just
Oh,
escaped, and
he
then
got hit by a car. He
he
got
got hit
collected
again.
as well.
And to think that he just escaped a kerfuffle from a few corners ago, he's got taken out again. So the tires, as soon as they were trying to recover from overheating, they're
Oh,
out there.
there's more
Oh,
cars off the
there's
track
more.
right now.
And
Noah
that's Zera
Sidek
again.
involved. Charles Tezera involved. Oh, Tezera, despite having a really good qualifying, is off the track right now. Is really, really unfortunate.
And Nuwasida is going slowly. I think he's got pretty much almost terminal damage. He has to come to the
Yeah.
pits.
Worst thing about being involved in an accident is one thing, but being collected by an oncoming car is another. That's just basically sealing your fate. Also, I've noticed on the timing sheets right now, Xavier previously he was about 0.8 seconds behind Ataya Kenzie. Now it's down to about 0.6, I think. As
Oh,
this is the car that's spun off track.
and he's stuck in the curb. I think no, he got it going, because we can have situations where the cars can get stuck in the gravel, but don't know if he can get stuck on the curb.
It has happened before.
And he gets going again, albeit at the tail end of the field.
So it's quite difficult to see the gaps right
Oh!
now as there's more cars off the track. I think it's a similar corner where Shaq had his incident with Aditya. But right now the accident involves Benteng and Yu Hang. So it's definitely the incidents are all piling up right now.
Back at the front here. And it looks like it's a bit spread out now. Xinghan has gotten away from Ataya while Xavier's holding off Andre, as
Yeah,
well
yeah,
with
yeah.
everybody.
I see Javier, Andre is quite close to Javier, to be honest. So Javier might have to think about the championship here. If he can't fight Taya, at least he needs to hold that third position so that he gets the most amount of points possible.
Ombona with Ataya is about 1.5 seconds away from his other championship rival. In fact, a point separates between three drivers. If that makes sense, actually. With how close they are, they might not want to risk it, but at the same time, the swing in favor to one driver would be massive.
Yep. This is here right now, Charles Serra. It looks like he's gonna make a move down into turn one. Will he be able to make the move stick? Camera switches to Henry Ko here, who gets overtaken down the inside and looks like he's gonna lose another position here.
Oh, 2 in 1.
Is that Tezera? That is Tezera.
Yeah, 2 in
Wow.
1.
Tezera has managed to make up 2 positions in one corner, but it looks like Henrico's trying to fight back down the inside. Luckily, they didn't make contact there because all of Tezera's hard work would have been finished right there. The same corner where we had 2 incidents in the last 2 laps.
Oh, we've had many incidents over the course of just a couple of laps. This is pretty much drivers who are driving for contract extensions, I guess.
Yep, definitely. And as you can see, Tezera is really feisty. He's trying to attack all the cars in front of him right now. So that's really good racing for Tezera. Right now, the car in front of him is Garden Coke. Will he be able to challenge him though? As I think Yukong right now is serving a pit stop or a drive-through penalty. But that's one thing that will be really interesting to watch. Charles Tezera, he's been making quite a few moves right now, so that's really a sight to see. But as I've noticed on the timing sheets right now, Javier has actually gone down to 4th place, and there's Aditya off the track again. So he's managed to go off track almost like 4 times in 4 laps.
And the car looks pretty much fine. I think it was just a spin on its own, unless he had contact from somebody. But that was unfortunately out of our sight. As we can see, we're falling back to Xavier. He's dropped back behind to Andre. And this isn't something that he might not want, but at the same time, he just wants to play conservative because there is a reverse grid after all. So he is within a chance of gaining more points over the 2.
He's right now sandwiched between
I think he's fine.
Andre
I think he's just fine, I think. Yeah, he just as we were cutting away there, Xavier spin.
No, so he's spun right now, and that puts him in. Oh wait, no, sorry. Yeah, he's in 5th place right now. Oh no, I think it was Andre that spun, right?
I think it was a white guy. It was definitely Xavier. I think he hit that back of Andre, and they both spun.
Yeah, because on the timing sheets right now, it shows that Andre has actually dropped to 7th place. And that means after that little tangle that they've had, Rehan is actually in 3rd place. Wow, that's someone we didn't expect to be on the podium. We didn't even mention his name.
Well, all the talk about the championship front runners, we forget that there is a supporting cast at the back. So
oh, there's another car off the track. It's Joshua. Joshua has gone off the track. He's gonna have to rejoin down in 8th place. Sorry. So yeah, a lot of cars are going off track here. Like we said during the practice, since this track doesn't have a lot of runoff, when you go off track, you'll just go off track forever and ever on the grass. There's just no grip there.
Yeah, there's no region. And the fact that if you're on a bike, it'll be even more horrendous. The bike will just go on forever. You'll be sliding on your back like in Phillip Island.
So right now, Phil Hudson in 11th place will try and defend from Charles Tezera. Tezera right now goes on to the right-hand side of the track and gets the move done pretty easily there. So that demotes Phil Hudson down to 12th place and promotes Charles Tezera up to 11th place. And as we said before, Charles Tezera, even though he's down in 11th place, he's really making the moves. He's having an absolute a really brilliant battle with the cars in front of him.
Oh yeah, definitely. In fact, he's been in the wars for every single time we pan to him. So definitely an entertaining driver to watch, but definitely not good for his championship chances. Or scoring points anyway.
So okay, I got confused between Joshua and Javier on the timing sheets there, but okay, Joshua right now in 9th place will try and attack Faiz Ryan for 8th place there. Looks like he's able to follow him in the slipstream, but through these fast corners, because of the dirty air, it looks like he's just dropping back very slowly here. So being stuck behind another car through these fast corners is definitely not something you'd want, as I think Marv right now is actually coming up on the back marker and they made contact. Irfan has made contact with the back marker. I think that's actually Noah Sidak who's maybe trying to pit even. So
yeah,
wow, that's just not good. You do not want to collide with the leader if you're a back marker, and that's just the worst thing that can happen to Irfan right now. He was battling for a really good sum of points there, and then that contact is just undone all of the hard work that he's done.
Yeah, and then the fact that he did look like he was going to the pit, or he was just moving offline. Irvan just followed him, and they both spun into the infield. So that is a very unfortunate incident.
What do you recall about the incident? Do you think it could have been avoided?
Definitely could have been avoided, because I think one driver, he held his line. Yeah, the back marker held his line, and it's up to the driver behind to just find a place to overtake. And unfortunately, he overtook him at pretty much the wrong time. They were both still turning.
Yeah, that's true. Irvan as well, he got quite the run on the car ahead of him, which was Faiz Ryan. He got too close, so he had to pull out. Oh, as Joshua goes off track there. So that will make him lose even more position. A lot of cars are going off track here. So yeah, definitely not something you'd want if you want to score a lot of points. But as I was saying, Irfan, since he had to pull out of the wake of Faiz, that put him straight into the wake of Noah Sidak. And Noah was obviously slowing down to let them both pass. So that's what caused the accident, basically.
As unfortunate as well as we can see Tarek, for a second I thought he went off the track. He did complain in the chat just now that his internet is terrible, and he goes up again. Look at that.
I think it is his internet that's making everything really bad for him. It looks like he's lagging through everything, but in reality, I think it's just him lagging. As Charles Cesaro looks like he's having a rough time trying to handle his car here. So he's smacked down in 11th place.
In fact, he lost his position to Hudson there. He was in 10th. Hudson just nicked him off in the final corner.
Yep. So as it stands right now, we are on the 7th lap out of 17 in this race. Chua Sing-han is leading. He is in front of Ataya Kenzie in 2nd. 3rd place is Fenor Rehan. 4th place is Javier Lai. 5th place is Andrei Abireski. 6th place is Marv Dondo Kambe. 7th place is Muhammad Faiz Ryan. And 8th place is Joshua Tan. And 9th and 10th place is Irfan Adi and Phil Hudson respectively. So that rounds off your top 10. The championship rivals right now are Chua Sing-han, Ataya Kenzie, and Javier Lai. So it looks like if it stays this way, Chua Sing-han will actually take the championship lead from both Ataya and Javier.
And in their order, of course. So then, Shaq's in the pits. So that's pretty much put paid to any chance of scoring points for this race for him.
Yep, definitely. As we ride on board now with Phil Hudson in 10th place. About 8 seconds behind Irfan. So Irfan, despite having that incident, is still within the positions he needs to score some points, if I'm not mistaken.
Points up to 8, maybe? I think so.
Really?
We'll get clarification on that soon. But anyhow, this is the guy who caused the most recent incident, Nuaside, who got hit by Irfan.
Oh, he's got on the track. Oh! The wall. That is a massive accident. We were
That was a
just
big
talking about it. Yeah, we were just talking about it in practice. If you go off wide there in the race, you're gonna hit the wall pretty badly, and it has happened. Noah Sidak has hit the wall at pretty high speed. That's his second incident in that corner in 2 laps.
And I was about to say that, well, he was involved in an accident. Let's hope he wasn't going to get involved in another one. Pretty soon, immediately, there we go. Straight into the barrier at the last corner.
And things could have definitely been better for Noah Sidak right now. He's just having an awful weekend, I would say.
We're back to the battle for 10th place. What presumably will be the final scoring position if we're following FIA points tallies, as Cesaro's got the DRS on Hudson. Hudson holds his line. Still can't find a way past yet because he did nick him off earlier. So I think Cesaro might have missed a gear or something that Hudson just went past him in the onboard. So that was what was weird about that particular one. Into the other chicane. The ball out with the sausages in the inside. And into the last corner, we won't see the battle of that, but definitely they'll both still be close by the time the next lap starts. As here's the other champion contender.
It looks like he's got about just under a second of a gap between him and Andrei right behind. Phil Hudson now looks like he's trying to get past Charles, or is Charles letting him by? It doesn't look like it.
No, Charles actually overtook him on the line. I think he was on the DRS, but then Phil just got by him, so they just swapped positions again.
As we see Noah Sidak right now entering the pits, I think he's calling it a day now. It looks like he's gonna park the car because he's had too many incidents, big incidents as well.
Meanwhile, back to the battle for 10th. Cesaro still on the gearbox of Hudson. They've been going at it for the last 2 laps from the last time we saw them, but again, we cut our way back to the battle for 4th between Xavier and Andrei. I think Andre's got a DRS. He's within a second. Don't think he can overtake it this time.
He's a bit too far back, especially heading into turn 1, but it looks like he's gonna try down the inside anyway. But he doesn't break late enough to make the move stick. Javier was too far ahead anyway. So very, very lucky that they didn't make contact there. But Javier right now, his focus might be on the car behind. But as we see right now, we cut to Phil Hudson. There's a car in front of him and a car behind him. So this is the battle for 10th. 11th and 12th right now going on. It looks like there's a 4th car joining in the battle. So this will start to be a really, really interesting race.
Yeah, it's in fact Zero got one over Hudson that time. Tariq's joining the fight, as well as Mark Lang. So 4 cars fighting for the tail end of the top 10.
So Phil Hudson right now, as you can see, 10th, 11th, and 12th, they're really, really close to each other. Phil Hudson himself is only 0.8 seconds behind Charles Cesaro in 10th place. So Phil Hudson runs a little bit wide there, so that's gonna make him lose a little bit time to Charles Cesaro, but puts him within the clutches of the man in 12th place, which is Tariq. Javier right now is really having to defend against Andre, and I think Marv is actually joining in the battle as well.
Joshua goes up again there.
Definitely not having a good day for Joshua here. His tires are experiencing the grass more than the actual tarmac of the track.
And the car is also as green as the grass, so there's that.
Maybe that's why.
Calling back to his natural habitat. Oh, again, Andre looking at the inside, but Xavier holds his line very well as
Ben Tang in 16th place has spun off. Looks like he spun off on the exit of a corner. Yes, I'm correct. So he's gonna lose even more positions now. It's definitely not a good thing. Due to all of these accidents happening towards the back of the field, I feel like Chua Sing Han and Ataya Kenzie might have to deal with a lot of back markers in the next few laps.
Oh, he definitely has. This is Faiz. What happened to him? He's facing the wrong way, I think.
No.
This is at the start of the lap, yeah. This is actually turn 5 as, someone's on his inside. That's Joshua,
He's about to lose 7th place to Joshua Tan here. So that little mistake has costed him a position.
Well, it's not a little mistake, it's a huge mistake. He ended up in the barrier there.
Yeah.
Oh, you can hear how much has locked up.
Oh, Andre has spun!
And
Andre has spun. And there's gonna be a huge sigh of relief for Javier there because Andre was all over the rear wing of Javier's car. And now he's just spun off and undid all of his hard work. He was so close to getting that 4th place from Javier. But because of that big mistake, Javier is now running away with 4th position pretty comfortably, I'd say.
Yeah, but definitely we wish that he was still in 3rd to get more points on the championship leaders.
Yep, definitely. So, as it stands right now, the top 5 consists of Chua Sing Han, Ataya Kenzie, Fenway Han, Javier Lai, and Muhammad Andre. There's
who's that? I think that was Tariq. Yeah. That was Tariq again.
Yeah, I think that was definitely Tariq. Probably one off the track due to the lag there.
And he's out of the race. He's actually out of the race.
I think his connection has finally gone. I think he's finally disconnected and
That's what's left of Tariq's car, I think. Oh no, he's still in the race.
The drivers are gonna absolutely hate this. Oh, it's happening again.
This is a wild thing to watch. What happened to Zera?
Oh, Tessera's lost a few positions here.
Did he get a corner cut penalty that he had to stop before the line? I think so.
Maybe. That would probably explain why, but if I'm not mistaken, the pit lane penalty is used over the actual Assetto Corsa penalties in this league. So that wouldn't explain it that much.
Well, what if it is that battle for 10th? This definitely looking more and more spicy.
Yeah. Phil Hudson has been hit pretty badly. I would say he's upside down. He's flipped and he's heading back to the pits now.
Well, he's on his roof. That's why he's back into the pit. But that is a monumental impact. Was that caused by? Was that caused by Tari? If it was, then he definitely has to sort out his internet connection because that was one of the biggest accidents of the weekend so far.
Yeah, I didn't see another car hit him because by the time the camera panned over to Phil Hudson over here, his car was already upside down. It was a monumental accident.
Wow, and through all of that, Tariq, who's actually in and off the timing screen, looks like he was retiring. He's actually in 10th right now. So the guy who caused the whole thing, he's actually he's getting the rub of the green.
Phil Hudson right now is definitely not having a good time due to him being sent back to the pits because his car basically flipped over. He's now almost basically a whole
that's
lap down.
Xavier!
Xavier spun! Oh, this is gonna put him right into the clutches of Andre right now. Is he gonna lose pit position? Yes, he
Yes, he did.
is.
Oh my
Oh,
word.
that is a very, very costly mistake, especially when you're trying to fight for the championship. So that, despite Andre making a mistake and dropping behind Xavier, Xavier has also made a mistake himself, which allows Andre to come back out and take fourth place off of his hands.
Wow. Talk about half space. At least he didn't speed up completely, but unfortunately, that has cost him two positions.
Yep. So Mark Lange right now in 10th place. It looks like he probably had an excursion or hit the wall because his previous time was 1 minute 33, which is well off the pace, I would say. And now there's a really interesting battle right now going on for 10th place between Mark Lange and Charles Tezera. Tezera, as we said, has been battling with a lot of drivers in this race. It looks like he's really close to Mark Lange. I don't think he's going to be able to make a move down into turn 1 though, so he's going to have to stick around for a few more corners. Of course, he's going to get the run on down for the next few corners. He's all over the rear wing of Mark Lange. Mark Lange obviously would not like the sight of that pink, blue, and white car in his rear view mirrors. As the camera pans back to Irvan in 8th place, which we could have seen more of that battle for 10th place, to be honest.
Yep. And we got word from the stewards that the penalty is for Tariq for using the wrong DRS last race. So pit lane penalty is being used.
I see. So right now it looks like Charles Tezera is attacking Mark Lange into turn 1. Tezera goes a little bit wide. Don't know if he can get on the power a little bit earlier to get the run on. Oh, Phil Hudson is off the track. Again.
No, actually he's letting people by. So yeah, that's him
as if him flipping upside down wasn't bad enough. He's now had to lose. If I was him, I would probably retire the car now.
Yeah, but then again, giving up is not an option, of course. He's just like, he just wants to get off the line and not disrupt anybody else's races.
Yep, as you see, Ben Tong went a little bit off track there. Lucky to not spin around. Mark Lange right now in 11th place. Still pretty close to Charles Tezera. Tezera only 0.3 seconds behind. Will he be able to get the run on him, make a move down into the hairpin? No, he's not going to be able to. He's going to have to stick around for the next few corners.
And I don't see Tariq on the leaderboard. Is he out for real this time? I'm not really sure.
Sometimes he's in, sometimes he's out.
Yeah, you can see that Mark was placed 11th in the timing screen just now. But then on the tower there, you can see he's 10th. So we're not really sure where is Tariq at the moment in time.
Yep. So Mark Lange right now in 10th place. Right now we're watching the battle of Henrico. Never mind, now we're watching Joshua Tan driving alone. As Charles Tezera enters the pits. This is an interesting sight. Does he have damage? Does he have a penalty?
I think it's a penalty.
It could be a drive-through penalty given to him by the pit lane penalty app that we're using for this league, and I think it is. So that battle for 10th place has lost all of its intensity as Harry Koch goes on the track again.
Ooh, he nearly got clouted there. I think that was Xavier coming by.
Yeah,
that is it.
So.
Because I saw Andre coming by and then that is Xavier. So he just went off again just to get out of the way of drivers. The track's just so narrow, you just can't get offline to let anybody by.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, Muhammad Faiz Raya in the 9th place has spun off. Oh, he's managed to save it. It looks like a perfectly executed pirouette, I would say.
360 no scope. And the Kamasala guy lives to drive another day.
Riding on board with Ferdian Aditya right now in 13th place. It looks like he's driving pretty lonely race for him right now. Oh, Xavier spun again! Oh no, this is already going from bad to worse.
Luckily, he didn't lose positions, but that is the third half spin in a row in this race at least. Now, is the pressure getting to him or just the tires are going off? Because we didn't see him spun that often.
Yeah, exactly. And he was so close to Andre as well. So he didn't lose any positions, but he's lost a hell of a lot of time to Andre, definitely.
And
As
we
we
are
come
now
around
final corner.
the final corner now for Chua Sing Han. He's been leading from start to finish, got pole, led every single lap of the race. He comes over the line to win the Grand Prix of Codegua. Right behind him is Ataya Kenzie in second place. The two championship contenders have had a really strong race today, but unfortunately for Javier, the best he can manage is fifth. And in
Yeah,
third place is Fenner Rehan right now. Really, really well deserved podium. Someone we didn't expect to be on the podium, to be honest. We were
yeah, he's happy
expecting
with
the
that.
top three in the championship, Singhan, Ataya, and Javier to be fighting, but Javier has had a pretty tough day at the office.
Yeah, but here he comes across. I think it's fifth. Or was it sixth? Because on the time sheet it says sixth. No,
I
it's
think,
fifth.
I
So,
think it's fifth.
yeah, luckily for him, it saved his bacon.
So Javier, despite having a really, really strong start to the race, of course getting up to third just at the end by the end of the first lap, come the checkered flag, he's only managed fifth place, which is exactly where he started. So it wasn't a particularly strong qualifying, and it wasn't a particularly strong race as well. I think a lot of points were on offer for him.
It was in a different race, but at least it's still he's in the points. And he's in a strong position here to start further up in the reverse grid race in race 2.
Yep, that's true as well. As the race two is about to start soon. As soon as race one ends, so uh, if I'm not mistaken, the whole grid will be reversed, or is it just the top 10?
Well, afterwards, I think it was the whole grid reverse last time I saw these races.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like Yukong right now. Has he spun? Is he doing donuts? I think he's doing donuts for fun. Oh,
Oh,
he's been clouted.
well, let's never mind that. We're waiting for the second race to start.
Yeah. It's not often you see a guy doing donuts for finishing 20th, but
That is just one thing to use those tires completely.
all right, so we're about to start the second race now. There's about a minute of waiting before that can go. Yeah, before that can start. So if you can wait for us for a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, that would be much appreciated. So in the second race, it will be a reverse grid. So it'll be interesting to see if Javier can keep, to maintain his consistency, maybe finish quite high up the grid to gain those valuable points that he lost in the first race.
Indeed, he does. A lot of work for him to do to catch back in the championship stakes at least. He's lost quite a couple of points at least, but it might matter come the end of the season.
Yep, definitely, and it's a great start to it's a great start for a championship fight. For Chua Sing Han as well, because he was only 1 point, he was half a point behind Xavier and only 1 point behind Ataya Kenzie, and winning the race from pole has definitely done him wonders. So as the race two is about to begin, would you take the honors and commentate for the start of the race, Ammo, while I go to the toilet?
Okay, that's very professional there, mate. Okay, here we go then. So it is a complete reverse grid here. Nuasidi, who's at the back of the grid just now, for taking on the drivers, he'll be on pole. Beside him is Phil Hudson, Enrico third, and fourth I couldn't see who that was just now, but yeah, it's a complete reverse here. It's Bang 10, then right beside him is Enrico. So we're waiting for the start of the race. There's Tariq, the guy who was in and out of the race, causing a bit of mayhem to the server, as we now have the red lights on the gantry about to illuminate. Tensions at rest build now. Here we go. 6 red lights. And away we go here for the second race of the Codegua Grand Prix. It's a good start there for Phil Hudson. He gets the jump on the pole sitter just now, which is Noah City. As we come to the first corner, this is going to be a Constantino effect. And there is RG Bargy coming in to the first hairpin. We saw that in the first race, and we see it again in the second. But luckily, everyone has kept it really clean. Oh, spoke too soon. Massive accident coming into the switchback to the left and the right chicane. Everybody's off. Somebody's facing the wrong way. Looks like one of the Gamasala cars. I think it might have been Shaq again. We can't see the timing screens quite clearly at the moment as Henry gets hit by Fanorihan. And around the outside goes Christian Ho. So, what a start again. It's not the kind of start we wanted. So many drivers being involved in so many incidents. It's it's chasing for the golden nugget, and it has not gone well here. Everyone's gone completely broke. And there's Nwaside, who was the pole sitter. He's dropped to 6th. First right now is, I think, Phil Hudson. So Hudson's got a jump on him. Ben 10 second. Third is Tizar. There is, oh no, it's actually Ferdian Aditya Pratama. So Ferdian's got a good jump there. I thought Hudson would have been in the lead coming into the second corner, but nonetheless, here's Ferdian in the lead. Second is Bang 10. Third is Tizera. As Tizera goes onto the inside of Bang 10 at the end of the first lap here. Can he make it round? Oh, that is very close. Very close to incident, but Tizera thought better of it and he backed out as he comes again to first race sparring partner Phil Hudson. As we go further back onto the grid here, further back into the top 10. At the end of the top 10, here's Joshua. Ahead behind him is I can't see the name properly because it's a bit blurry at the moment. But Joshua's 10th, Benoit 11, and Garden Court 11. 12 is Fight Ryan. We're on board with him right now. In terms of the championship battle, Xavier is further up. He would be of the championship rival as Tai Kenzie is 16th, and Shuajing Han is in 18th. So an ideal position here for Xavier to get a lot of points.
Alright, I'm back. What have I missed? The start of the race.
Well, it's safe to say you missed out on a lot.
Oh, really?
In fact, yeah, there was a lot. I think you should see the replay after this. But man, that was a lot of argy-bargy coming into the first two corners.
So now, Joshua Tan is being attacked by Fenro Rehan. Oh, as the camera pans to Noasidek right now going around the outside of Mark Lange. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to make the move stick.
Actually, if you want to see right now, the big news is the championship leaders are still at the tail end of the top 20. So they're in the midfield.
Oh, Mark Lange has gone off the track. That's not going to do wonders.
Yeah, Xavier's up to 6, would you believe it? Xavier, who
that is the start that he would have definitely wanted.
And he can still make out a lot of paces. He's up to 5th now due to a mistake by, I think Joshua made a mistake there. Ben 10 made a mistake and Xavier's beneficiary. And I see it. That's Christian Ho. And that's Xavier, I think, on the inside.
Oh.
Yeah, the Sauber driver was in the first corner escape road. And I think Xavier was involved too because he lost positions as well.
Oh, no, that's definitely what you don't want to happen when you want as most points as possible. But the camera keeps changing so much. We keep missing out on a lot of the action. As right now we see Ataya Kenzie in 10th place trying to fend off 2 drivers here. So this is the battle for... Oh, there's a car spinning off the track. It's Shaq. Ilham Mukarim Shaq has spun off. Dropped down to 17th place now. But on the looks of it, the championship contenders, Chua Sing Han right now is in 13th place. Xavier is in 8th place, and Ataya Kenzie is just 2 places below him in 10th. So the dream start that Xavier got has quickly turned into, well, the stuff of nightmares.
Well, it's gone a bit pear-shaped, but still quite a long way to go in this race as Roseanne Roy goes off. Yeah, we have Xavier was up there. I think he might have been involved in the incident with Christian Ho. We might have to wait for the steward's decision on that. But the start that he wanted, he was well clear of everyone in the championship stakes at least, and now he's dropped the ball a bit.
Yep, he definitely has. As we see the battle right now, you can see there's the whole train of cars behind Noah Sidak. That's the thing about reverse grid races. You have a lot of the faster drivers at the back, which means the slower drivers will be at the front. And on a track where it's difficult to pass like this one, it's gonna be really, really hard for all the drivers. So you're gonna see a train form, as we see right now. Andre defending very well against. Oh, there's an
Oh,
accident.
and that's what
Sing
he had.
Han. That's Sing Han, the championship leader, has spun, has been involved in an accident. Oh, that's definitely not good. He's dropped back down to 16th place, so that's definitely what he would hate. And he spun the car around himself as well, trying to regain control. So
Yeah,
things are going
tires were
from
hard.
bad to worse.
Yeah, the tires were hard. He tried to whammy him up and put the loud pedal as high as possible, but the car just says, nope, tires are not gonna go off. You're gonna come and spin.
Yeah, definitely. So that's the worst thing that could possibly happen for Chua Sing Khan, especially considering that he's leading the championship. But Javier right now, one positive thing that he can take from this is he's gonna get some points off of Sing Khan at least.
And yes, there's definitely positives for him. He's gonna get more points than Singha, but oh, C-Dick goes off.
Oh no, see that? Yep. It's understeered off the track.
He's only about 2 positions ahead of, yeah, go back to Xavier. He's only ahead by just a few positions from Taya, so it might not be enough in the grand scheme of things, but it will still be at least more than Qinghan. So what's he be second? Oh, someone goes up to the barriers at the background there. I think
And
that
also we see that Andre has taken the lead of the race somehow. I'm pretty sure he was in second place, but now he takes lead of the race ahead of Aditya.
well, out of nowhere, he took. I think we saw it just now. He cut away for
Oh,
second.
SRA is actually
SRA goes in the inside.
second place. Oh, is he
I think
able
got
to
it.
make the
He's got
move?
him.
Yes, gone up to second place ahead of Aditya right now. Aditya drops third place. Insane move from Charles Zera. There's we see Bentong.
Oh, big accident.
Massive accident. Another car has flipped.
And
Oh,
back.
that is a big accident.
I think that was bigger
Oh,
than Hudson's. As to Zera, he actually did just now what we can say was a dummy switchback. He just got on the inside, thought better of it, braked out, but Aditya just succumbed to the pressure, and then he got a free position.
Yep, definitely. As we see Benteng here right now, what a massive accident he was involved in. I'm pretty sure when the camera panned back to him, sorry to cut off right now, but Ataya Kenzie has managed to overtake Phil Hudson for 8th place. That puts him. Oh, Joshua
Hudson. And that would that be
that is
Victory?
6th place.
Yes,
Xavier goes
Xavier.
up a place. Ataya Kenzie moves up a few places as well. That's definitely not good for Joshua.
And he stopped in as well to wait for the other drivers by, which actually he shouldn't have done because he's actually off the circuit. But nonetheless, a courteous move, but detrimental to his championship.
Oh, there's been contact there, I think, between Henry Ko and well, I can't see who the other driver was, but wow, that's another incident.
Don't decay. Yeah,
Definitely a lot more accidents happening in race 2.
Yeah, Don Cambi was the guy
Oh,
who
is
was
this Xavier in the
involved now.
pits?
Oh, that's a disastrous for the championship chances here for Xavier.
That is
He's in the pit.
extremely bad. He's dropped down to 14th now. I think he might have had a penalty. Maybe he was cutting a few corners. Maybe he caused an accident. Who knows? But stewards have decided that Xavier deserves a penalty, and he's dropped down from 6th place down to 14th now.
Oh, that's disastrous.
See
because
Garden Coke
he was up there. He was up there. He was up there, and then he just got a penalty. That is detrimental to his championship chances. Now, Kenzie will actually pull away from him even further.
Exactly. Unless something happens to Kenzie as well. But right now we see Garden Cook trying to fend off Faiz Ryan, but at the same time he's gonna have to attack Phil Hudson right in front of him. Will be able to go down the inside. He got the move done before the corner. Is he gonna be able to make it stick, or will Phil Hudson be able to fight back? He's made a few contact. Oh, 3 cars involved in this accident. So all the hard work done by Garden Cook to go up to 6th place, I think, or was it 7th? All been undone because he's been involved with in an accident between him and Phil Hudson. Phil Hudson, I think, got hit by the car behind him. Faiz Ryan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was a Kamasala car, so it was Faiz Ryan, and unfortunately, Hudson's come off worse.
Oh, there's been more accidents here. Ilham Mukarim Shaq has been involved in this accident.
Shaq and Lang actually. Shaq and Mark Lang was involved in that.
Even more cars are being involved in the accident. But going back to the accident with Garden Cook over there, I genuinely thought it was a good move by Garden Cook down the inside on Phil Hudson. And Tariq has spun
But
at turn 1.
completely saved it, but unfortunately lost position.
Yep. Again, going back to the incident with Phil Hudson, Faiz Ryan, and Garden Cook. It looks like Garden Cook. It looked like Garden Cook had the move done there, as we see right now. Singh Han getting past. Oh, there's more cars going on the track. There's too much action for me to keep up with here right now. As I think Chua Singh Han gets past Rosan Royf for 17th place. There's more action going on at the back of the grid than there is at the front.
Well, actually, quite at the sharp end in front of the midfield of the top 10. There was that action just now. We saw Garden Court try to go the inside of Hudson, and that caused a bit of a domino effect. Everyone was involved.
Yep, Garden Cook got the move done as far as I was concerned, but since Phil Hudson was on the outside line when he tried to go back on the inside to reclaim that racing line, at the same time Faiz Ryan actually tried to launch an attack on him, so obviously that didn't end up pretty well. So that has in turn caused him to make this tiny bit of contact with Phil Hudson. And of course, that contact made Phil Hudson hit Garden Cook, so it was a chain reaction basically.
Yep. And it was just one thing that led to another.
Yep. As you see, Chua Sing Han now obviously had quite a few bad moments in the race. Obviously, he got hit pretty badly. He spun off. Now he's in 16th place. So despite winning the first race, he finds himself down in 15th place now. As we switch over to Noah Sidek, brilliant switchback move here to try and overtake Phil Hudson, if I'm not mistaken.
No, Shaq, that's Shaq.
Shaq, yeah, sorry.
So Shaq got the move done. They tried to switch back, but unfortunately, Shaq already got the position as we go back to Xavier, who's actually now in 10th.
Yep, definitely. It looks like he's gonna be able to catch Garden Cook out in front. Garden Cook, we're not sure how much damage he sustained from that incident with Phil Hudson. Doesn't look like it's a lot. But Xavier right now, the one thing on his mind is definitely to just keep up the pace and try and get as many positions as he can to maximize the amount of points that he'll get. Because right now it looks like Aditya has actually spun off of, from 3rd place. He's down into 4th now. So that's really not good. He was in 3rd place right behind Charles Cesara, and now he's dropped to 4th position. So that puts Fernando Rehan actually back into 3rd place, just as he was in the first race.
Oh, definitely. Once again, we like Aditya was at the sharp end here in the first race as well. So not a race weekend for him to remember.
Oh, and Noah's off the track right now, just a little bit. Nothing too major, but yeah, definitely if you're racing, you'd like to keep your car on track, actually.
You did say that this guy's got 20 years of experience. He's putting good use to have a grass cutting experience, I guess.
As you see, Garden Cook right now in 9th place. Xavier is getting really close here. It looks like Xavier might be able to attack Garden Cook into some of these corners. Will he be able to launch a move down on the inside of this corner here?
He got it.
They're alongside. Xavier's on the inside line here. Will he be able to get moved then? Yes, he will. He's up into 9th place now ahead of Garden Cook. So that's that position done and dusted. All that he's got to do right now is just pull away from Garden Cook.
Which he is right now. He'll definitely try to chase up to Joshua, who's only about 6 seconds ahead. I think 6 or 7 seconds. And judging by the way that the tires are degrading in this circuit, it's pretty brutal. Anything can still happen for Xavier.
Yep. Noah Sidek has Chua Sing Han for company here. Chua Sing Han, of course, disposes of Noah Sidek pretty easily here. As we see, you go back to... Oh, Marv has gone off the track here. I feel like every lap there's going to be a car that's going off the track.
Yeah, we did get word that the tires here just can't last because there's so much degradation going on. The tires just simply go off, and the temperature, when it reaches at a high point, no grip anymore. That's it.
Yeah. Garden Cook right now in 10th place. Right behind him is Muhammad Faiz Ryan. Of course, they were involved in little accidents there just now, so hopefully no love lost between the two. Because the last thing they would want while battling is like a lot of tension between them.
Well, that's kind of like the nature of the race, isn't it? If you got someone that you can say taken out, you definitely say, "Oh, I want to beat that guy now." At least in my race just went to pear shape. As Faiz overtook Garden Cook.
Has he? Oh yes, he has. Garden Cook is now in 11th place behind Muhammad Faiz Ryan.
Well, that's 2 positions in 2 laps for Garden Cook. He's got Phil Hudson right behind. No, sorry, Tariq right behind him. The midfield battle is something to behold.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, we are currently on lap 10, the report correctly, of 17 laps. Your race leader is Muhammad Andri Abireski. Behind him is Charles Tezera, who's made a brilliant move on Aditya, if I'm not mistaken, early on in the race to get second place. Behind him is Fero Rehan in third place. In fourth place is Ferdian Aditya Pratama. Behind him in fifth is Irvan Adi Pratama. Sixth place, Ataya Kenzi, finishing second in the first race, now currently finds himself in fifth place, sorry.
And we saw Chris in the hole just now, who was in 7. He made a mistake. That will give the other drivers behind him a bit of an opportunity to chase him.
Ataya Kenzi now really close to Irvan. So there's a slow moving car on the main straights. Phil Hudson might have had an accident there, but pretty dangerous spot. Actually, so Noah see that goes past, as well as I think that's
Lang. No, that's Lang.
Oh, I see.
Oh wait, no, it's actually
Benteng is on the road.
Lang's teammate. Yeah, it is Noah Siddiq. You can hear there the tires squealing for grip.
Yeah.
There's not enough grip. There's too much temperature coming up, and the degradation is not helping either. So the tires here are lottery.
Yeah, Shaq right now looks like he's close enough for the DRS and slipstream of Garden Cook, but it doesn't look like he's gaining at all. Actually, it does. It looks like he's going down the inside of Garden Cook. Will he be able to make the move stick down into the left-hander? Yes, he will. This is actually where Garden Cook had that incident with Phil Hudson, and looks like the move is done pretty well, I would say.
And he was the guy who started in third just now, banked 10, and now he's well at the back, a lap behind. So, shame that this weekend has not gone well for him.
Yeah, definitely would have probably wished for a better result, as Garden Cook right now finds himself busy with Tariq right now. Tariq, who is having severe connection issues in the first race, right now finds himself in a battle for 12th place with Garden Cook as they head through the final corner. Now there's a car entering the pits. It's Faiz Ryan. I think he might be serving a penalty. Maybe it was for the incident with Garden Cook early on in the race.
Yep. So quite a few penalties being dished out here for this particular race. It doesn't matter who the driver is, everyone gets it.
Yeah, as we saw, one of the championship contenders, Javier Lai, as well, he had a penalty which dropped him. He was in a pretty strong position that dropped him down the order pretty badly. You see Joshua kind of struggling for grip here. You're right, the degradation is really high, that as the race goes on, the tire wear starts to go down, the temperature starts to go up. There's a car on the track, it's Charles Zera in second place! Oh my goodness me! Yeah, will he be able to keep second place? He's got quite a healthy gap to Fenrir. He spun the car around again. Oh, that's gonna be second place gone for Charles Cesara. Is it gonna be even more places lost?
Yeah,
and that promotes Fenrir Rehan up into second place. A really strong result for Fenrir Rehan right now if he can keep it together. But that is definitely what you would not want if you're Charles Cesara, because as we saw earlier on in the race, he made such a brilliant move to get up into second place, and he was basically controlling it, spinning around again.
Was he in the pit? Yes, he was in the pits. I'd say that it's big because the results for him will definitely do a little wonder. But unfortunately, yeah, it might have been a penalty. It is.
Things are going from bad to worse for Charles Cesara. He was comfortably in second place, very comfortably indeed. He was pulling away from Fenrir Rehan even, and that one mistake, either it was a mistake or it was a tangle with another car. It has definitely ruined his race completely. As we see Garden Cook now trying to overtake Tariq. Barges past him a little bit there, and Tariq.
Yeah, Tariq was trying to overtake. Yeah, Tariq was trying to overtake. Overtake Garden Cook, and now look who's behind him. It's the championship.
Will he be able to? He's not taking any risks by diving down the inside there. As you see, Noah see that going a little bit off track right now.
Well, he's been off track for this entire round, so let's leave it at that.
Camera pans back to Joshua Tan right now in 7th place. Looks pretty comfortable for him, but as Charles Cesara has showed us, even when you're comfortably in a position, you could make mistakes and just lose all of it in one corner. As Gordon Cook tries to get back past Chuan Xing Han here, and at the same time, he's going to use that momentum to attack Tariq right now. Will he be able to be close enough to launch another attack into the next few corners? As Tariq has spun by himself. Tariq has spun. It looks like he had a big snap oversteer there. Very, very bad for Tariq. And that's... he's almost nowhere. Look at how far he's gotten off the track.
You can see that the amount of grass that he's kicking up, that tire is spinning quite a lot.
Yeah, as we saw, Tariq, I think he was out of shape in the corners before that because it looked like Gordon Cook had crazy amounts of momentum to get past him. Is this Salsazera leading the pits again?
Yeah, he did. That's two in two laps.
It's either he had to serve his penalty first before pitting, or I'm not sure. It's not clear as to why he had to go to the pits there, but race is going from bad to worse. And speaking of bad to worse, Ben Teng is right now off the track. I don't think the camera has ever gone on to him like on track, because I'm pretty sure every time the camera went on to him, he's been off the track. It's not been a good race for him so far.
I would love to see the end of results screen. What does it say? Who's the best off-roader? Because everyone's been off-roading this weekend.
It's definitely going to be a close fight.
And speaking of which, because of that off-track the pit lane excursions for Tezera, that moves Xinghan to 9th, and he's right behind Xavier. So not much loss for the championship leaders.
Yeah, but if you look at Taya Kenzie right now, he's sitting very comfortably in 3rd place, so he'll get the most points out of the championship contenders here. So he's gonna be coming out laughing here. But as we see, Muhammad Faiz Ryan is facing an attack from the car behind, but I don't think he's able to make a move into the left-hander.
Yep. We can safely say that Kenzie is laughing all the way to the bank here right now.
Oh, Gordon Cook is off the track.
Well, he might have been hit by someone there. Yes, he did.
Oh, yes, it is. Is that Charles Tezera?
Yes, it is.
Charles Tezera in 10th place.
That might be another penalty on the way for him if that was his fault, but we have to wait and see.
Things are just going from bad to worse to even worse for Charles Tezera. But right now, as we see, Christian Ho, the Sauber Junior driver, right now in 6th place, right behind Aditya. I don't know if he's able to... He hasn't got a lot of laps to close down the gap, so if he wants to make the move, he's got to put the hammer down right now.
Oh, Xavier!
Xavier's on the track! He spun! Oh, and that's another position loss for Xavier.
I think he's still 8th. He's still 8th, but it's just that he lost it somewhere, and now he's in the clutches at least of Xinghan by 4 seconds.
Yeah, that's true. And now, as you see, the camera pans back to Noah Sidek right now. Tariq is in pits.
And then did we say just now about Christian Ho, he's driving in the Sauber colors? He is actually an actual Sauber junior, would you believe it?
Yeah. Very, very impressive. He does karting, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Karting with a junior team, and he won the Deutsch Karting Meisterschaft, the German karting championship. So he's the first ever Asian or Singaporean to win that. And that's an amazing achievement. Is that Xavier going through? No, that's Xavier going on the inside. There's 2 white cars in that screen for a second.
And then it's Xavier going on the inside of Joshua Tan, but it looks... I don't know what happened to Joshua Tan. Maybe he...
No, that wasn't Joshua. That was... I think that was Bang Tang.
Ah, I see. Yeah, could have been. Muhammad Faiz Ryan right now is in 12th place. Looks like he's sitting pretty comfortably there, to be honest. Not much of a gap between him and the car in front. Not much of a gap between him and the car behind. As you see right now, Aditya was, if I'm not mistaken, he was in the podium positions, right? But he lost it a few times.
Yep. And the guy who has probably the best scoring run this weekend has to be Fenorayan, because he was 3rd in that first race. Now he's 2nd. He's going to get cumulatively more points than the championship leaders for this weekend.
Yep, and let's not forget Ataya Kenzie as well, who finished 2nd in the first race and is currently running P3. So, in terms of position-wise, for this particular race, Taya Kenzie and Fenorayan have been on basically equal terms.
Oh, yeah, definitely. As Noah City and Hudson, they switch positions. That's Hudson up to 40, but nope, he comes back. They swap again. Someone's off there. But that's Bang 10. That's Bang 10.
Yeah. Oh, he spun as well.
Yep. Oh, luckily he kept it together. But yeah, if we are seeing a couple of white cards, we might think that Xavier is that further into the wall? Yes, he was.
I think he was into the wall here as we start the final lap, if I'm not mistaken. Does it say final lap there?
Yeah, yes, it is.
So we start the final lap. Andrew starts his final lap ahead of Fenor Rehan in second place. Behind him in third is Ataya Kenzie. Ataya Kenzie will come out with the most points among all the championship leaders. His other championship rivals, Javier Lai and Chua Sing Han, are in 8th and 9th respectively. They've lost a lot of points in this second race, Samuel.
Oh yeah, definitely. And for Xavier, he's probably lost out the most in this because he not only lost points to Kenzie and Xing Han in the first race, he's just about outscored Xing Han in the second race, but he'll probably lose out more to Kenzie.
Yeah, because Sing Han, he won the first race, so he got the most points out of the two.
So yeah, overall, it's not a complete write-off, but definitely he has to come back again in the next round to score more. It's just a weekend of what that might have been.
Yep. As we see right now, Muhammad Andri Abireski goes around the final corner for the final time this weekend. Goes over the line to win the Codegua Grand Prix in SRA Season 7. Very strong performance from him to finish first ahead of Fenor Rehan in second place. Fenor Rehan coming out with a lot of points, almost as much as exactly as much as Ataya Kenzie. Both of them finished second and third today. In fourth place, Irvan Adi Pratama ahead of Christian Ho. Sixth place is Aditya Pratama.
And the rest of the fields.
Yep, and
Here's
the rest
Joshua.
of the goes over the line.
Joshua 7th and Xavier. I think, not to say indifferently, but inconsolably 8th. 9th will be behind him with Chua Jing Han. And here comes Charles Cesara, who was involved in a lot of the wars this weekend.
Yeah, Charles Cesara, obviously he was in second place. He almost lost it through the final corner there as well. But as I was saying, Charles Cesara, he had a really strong start to the second race. He was in P2 for most of the race, and he just lost it in the last few laps. Really sad stuff for him.
Yeah, including 2 trips to the pits, so that didn't help matters.
Yeah. But Fenor Rehan and Ataya Kenzie are definitely the stars of race 1 and race 2 because Ataya Kenzie finished second in race 1 and managed to keep that consistency to finish third in race 2. And for Fenor Rehan, it was basically the opposite. He finished third in race 1 and finished second in race 2. So both of them coming out with the most points, but Ataya Kenzie definitely benefits from it the most because he is leading the championship. So for him to be able to maximize the amount of points that he's getting in both rounds, despite finishing behind Chua Sing Han in the first race, he's definitely outscored Chua Sing Han by a big margin here in the second race, and that will really help his championship charge.
Yep, nothing for us left to say, but that was definitely one of the most incident-packed weekends I've seen in this championship so far. As well, Sing Han went by there.
Despite this track having almost no walls, well, this race has shown that the drivers themselves can be the walls, apparently.
Using someone else's brake, yeah.
But that's all from me. I'm Mika Kimi, and alongside me is Amir Hazik, and we'd like to say goodbye and thank you for watching SRA Season 7 Round 4. Thank you very much all for watching, and goodbye.